Megyn Kelly went on a racist tirade on Piers Morgan in regards to Bad Bunny's performance. He is absolutely living rent-free in MAGA's head, and I'm here for it. But if you can stomach it, let's break this down because it actually is really important to what's going on in this country. Also, if there is a post-MAGA, this is likely the kind of mentality that MAGA adjacents will carry with them. The Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson types. I don't talk about this a lot because, quite honestly, I'm not sure we'll even get to that point. But if we do, this is probably what the right would look like. All right, let's dive in.
To get up there and perform the whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish.
Let's first correct the data here. She's correct that 42 Americans speak Spanish at home. But a portion of that 310 she mentions don't all speak English. And it's not 310, it's 255 million. Of that 255 million, 12 million speak a different language at home. So 22%, over a fifth of the country, speaks something other than English at home. Let's keep going.
This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer, and we don't need an ICE or America hater featured as our primetime entertainment.
The way she says Latinos and mentions the black national anthem makes me want to punch something, but I digress. Clearly, she didn't actually watch the performance, and she said as much on Twitter, instead choosing to listen to Kid Rock's lyrics about sleeping with children. If she had watched it, like I mentioned in my video yesterday, Unity was the show. He even let a white Italian like me and Lady Gaga join in. It was all about love, honoring Puerto Rican culture, and unifying America. That was incredibly clear.
Okay, what is the national language, officially the national language of the United States of America?
I mean, English. And there's been a push for many years to make it an official,
you don't have one.
Documented thing.
You don't have one.
If you would have let me finish my comment, I would have pointed that out, that people have been pushing to make it official.
The possibility of having an official language in the U.S. is completely ridiculous, especially considering how we started. Our founders were intentionally silent on the subject because there were many languages spoken in the colonies, even though English was the majority. There are huge caveats to that, though, and that needs to be emphasized. Both slaves and Native Americans were forced to learn English. And this is really important to this discussion because it shows how racist the roots of pushing for a national language really are. Because there were a whole lot of people in the colonies that spoke German and Dutch. In fact, at one point, they tried to get all official documents printed in both English and German. While they would have preferred that they speak English, it didn't bother them because they were European. Just like I don't hear anyone mention the 2 million French speakers we have in this country. An official language would counter the diversity that this country was founded on, not purely, but we need that to be able to move forward correctly.
Okay, right, so you're trying to make official...
This attitude that you have right here is why you in Great Britain have lost your culture. You ceded your culture to a bunch of radical Muslims who came in and took over, and now it's gone. We're not allowing that here. Whether it's Hispanic, whether it's Muslim, it's not happening in the United States of America. That's why President Trump was elected.
Notice that she only mentions Muslims and Latinos, not Ukrainians or Russians. And in the UK, only 15% of the population is Muslim. They are nowhere close to having been taken over by Muslims. In fact, there's fewer of them than there are Latinos as a percentage in the U.S.
And whether it's Bad Bunny, who is American but refuses to speak English in his performances, or anybody else, we have to keep the Superbowl, which is a quintessential American event. Football, that kind of football, is ours. They call it American football. And the halftime show and everything around it needs to stay quintessentially American. Not Spanish, not Muslim, not anything other than good old-fashioned American apple pie. There should be a meatloaf, maybe some fried chicken, and an English-speaking performer. That's what the Super Bowl should be.
Jesus Christ, I'm glad that's over, and I'm sure you are too. You know what's also quintessentially American? Baseball. And baseball is now enjoyed by a lot of the world, especially in Latin America. And it's only ever had the effect of making baseball better, all the way from integration to today. If baseball didn't change, and if the NFL also doesn't continue to change, it would be dead. Needless to say, Megyn Kelly, when all is said and done, might end up being liked by no one. I hope she enjoys being lonely.